to CAAPA's Melody of Art, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts kick-off event for the 2021 season. We are so glad you could join us this evening, and we're so thankful to the Overdue Recognition Gallery and Jackie Thompson for hosting this evening's event. We're also looking forward to greetings from Maryland State Delegate Marvin Holmes, and we have our guest of honor, Frank Frazier, world-renowned artist who has been with CAAPA since the very, very beginning. Thank you, Frank. You will hear music this evening from our CAAPA ensemble under the direction of Joshua Jenkins, and you are in for a treat because they are bringing wonderful music for you to listen to, and we're so happy that they are part of CAAPA. We look forward to many other virtual events this season. We hope you'll support us. Please feel free to look on our website to find out more, and thank you again. I will now introduce our Executive Director, Terry Allen, who also happens to be my mother, who will bring you greetings.
Thank you, Pamela, Madam Chairperson. And again, thank you for being here this evening with the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts. Tonight is going to be a grand night, our season kickoff. But first, let me tell you a little bit about CAAPA. If you think of our acronym CAAPA, it stands for Community Outreach, Arts Education, Audience Development, Performance Opportunities, and Arts Partnerships. And we do that in support of Black classical musicians, youth, and others in the performing arts by bringing color to the classics. Let's say it together, everyone. What are we doing? Bringing color to the classics. And now for our program to begin.
Good evening. I am Patrick D. McCoy, and welcome to Melody of Art. On behalf of the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, we invite you to join us for this virtual presentation of this outstanding recognition of leaders in the arts. We hope that you will follow and view the presentation on Facebook Live, and we hope that you will be gratified in the excellence presented on this evening.
How did we get the name Overdue Recognition Art Gallery? We get asked that quite often. So my husband and I, Derek Thompson and I, we own the gallery together, and we found that there was not a lot of representation for African American art, and it's very overdue, so we came up with the name Overdue Recognition because we want to give these African American artists the exposure that they need, the same that their peers are getting. Hi, my name is Jackie Thompson from Overdue Recognition Art Gallery, and I'm glad to be here today with you all and to celebrate the CAAPA experience. The lady that runs the gallery, without her, I don't know what I would do, Jasmine. She does everything around here. So if you call, ask for Jasmine.
Hello.
This is actually the second year we've hosted the CAAPA event. When CAAPA approached us, we were really happy to partner with them because we know it's all connected, the art, the music, and everything. So it was really nice to host the event here, and we're happy to have it here this year and for many years to come. Overdue Recognition and CAAPA love to bring color to the classics.
I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you someone very near and dear to our hearts, someone who has been supportive and here at the Melody of Art with CAAPA since the very, very beginning. Maryland State Delegate Marvin Holmes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's performance. My name is Marvin Holmes, and I'm a member of the Maryland General Assembly in the House of Delegates from Legislative District 23B. I am here this evening to bring you greetings from the Coalition of African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA. The primary function of CAAPA is to support artists of color. This evening's performance is a virtual performance and is a little bit different from the past dozen or so opportunities that have had to recognize the superior efforts of CAAPA. But I guarantee you it will be just as enjoyable. So relax and listen as CAAPA brings color to the classics.
I am so very, very excited to bring to you now someone who has been with CAAPA since the very, very beginning, displaying his art and sharing his visual talents. Artist extraordinaire, all the way from Dallas, Texas, please welcome Frank Frazier.
Thank y'all for doing this. And the reason I'm doing this, I just miss being out there with the people. So this was just an opportunity to do something. So right now you got to stay in because we want you around, especially you young people. So no matter what, you are the future. Thank you for your time, everybody. And I support all Black artists out there. I like being a Black artist too. Don't be ashamed of who we are, because we are who we are. Power to the people.
Thank you again, Frank. And now let's welcome to the stage the CAAPA Ensemble, led by Joshua Jenkins.
Thank you so much. My name is Joshua Jenkins. That song that you just heard was Free For All by Freddie Hubbard. And I'm also joined here by the CAAPA Ensemble, Angel Bethea playing drum set, and Benjamin Rickoff playing the bass.
So we're here at the gallery, and I just wanted to show you some of the artwork that we have here. We've been here at the gallery since 2004, and we represent over 40 African-American artists. And what we do here is we preserve art, we collect art, and we encourage people to promote African-American art. So here we have one of our newer artists here, Rebecca Crouch. She is from this area, from the Washington, D.C. area. And what she does is she paints images of leaders from the past who all have messages that are still relevant today. So we have some images of hers that are on wood, and then we have some of her clay prints as well. We have some other works down here by some of our more prominent artists. We have Kadir Nelson's pieces, and we have William Tolliver is one of our great artists that we represent. Calvin Coleman is another one of our artists that does all originals on canvas. So if you're looking to collect some artwork, he does really well with his art collectors. So we sell a little bit of everything here. We sell originals and we sell reproductions. So we have originals on wood and originals on paper, but we also have clay prints here, which actually is very close to the original. The editions are very low. They're great for beginner art collectors, and it actually shoots the ink out. And they are signed in numbered pieces, so they are great for collecting.
And now I'd like to take this opportunity to thank, for the 2021 season, our arts partners and supporters. Without further ado, thank you, National Endowment for the Arts, NEA, the Maryland State Arts Council, Maryland Citizens for the Arts, Maryland Humanities, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's Arts Division, Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council, Classical Movements, Howard Historical Society, the Davies Concert Series, the Society Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated, Fort Washington, Maryland chapter, and the Kennedy Center. We would not have been able to do any of the quality programming without you and your support. Thank you, arts partners from CAAPA. And now, one of the reasons why we're here, to kick off our 2021 season with all of our different events. We had to go virtual for some of our events, but with our creative team, we were able to come up with some really innovative programs, and wishing you well during this most difficult and tumultuous time. First, the March on Washington concert in partnership with Classical Movements. Then, Melody of Art, tonight's event. Our Voice concert at the Asala Conference. Intimate expressions in candlelight at the Wellspring Spa. Sammy at the Kappa Club, Our Voice Women's Suffrage Concert, Emerging Artists Recital, the 250th Beethoven Celebration, the Negro Spiritual Sing-Along, Unplugged, which are young voices speaking out panels every other month, Upon a Star Holiday Concert, Lady Sings Billie Holiday Concert, Sopranos Slaved Archived Concerts, Generations Music and the Black Family Panel, Generations Music and the Black Family Concert, The World is My Home with Stogie, Voices of the Past, Lola Dubois, London Orchestra Symphony Concert, Blacks in Howard Concert, Generations Family and Poetry Event, Scholarship Student Showcase, the Opera Composers Showcase, and Men in Black Mozart to Motown. Keeping It Real, virtual at-home events. Our Versital series will kick off in September and continue every month. Candid Cadenzas, the weekly event from seasoned artists. Reach International Virtual Performances. The Masterclass series, kicking off from September to November with historically Black colleges and universities. Operations, Operations for kids.
And lastly, Chillax at Home, virtual live streamed concerts.
And God willing, when we get back to our live performances, we will be so happy to bring you CAAPA's live performances again. Thank you, and it's a wonderful time for kicking off this season.
And now let's welcome to the stage the CAAPA Ensemble, led by Joshua Jenkins.
The new movie that just came out by Beyonce, Black is King. Great movie that just came out. And actually, if you were looking at the movie, in the background, there are these Woodrow Nash sculptures, which was a great accomplishment for Woodrow to have. But he's been creating these statues for over 30 years, and they are definitely a great piece to have in your home. The spirit, I mean, if you see them in person, to see the spirit of them is amazing. But this one actually was a tribute that he did to Trayvon. You see the hoodie on him, and so we didn't have the actual statue here, but the photograph of it sells very well for us. So we just got a new shipment of Woodrow Nash pieces into the gallery. After the Beyonce film came out, everybody has been in demand for them, so we have been working very hard to keep them in. They're going very fast, so definitely stop by. We get them in every once in a while, so definitely come by.
And now I'd like to introduce Miss Marquita Lister, Coordinator of Vocal Music at Morgan State University, who will now say a few words about Dr. Eric Conway.
Thank you, Pamela. Dr. Eric Conway, known as Dr. C by our students, is recognized any and everywhere in the Murphy Fine Arts Building by his laughter and his sense of humor. I appreciate his many efforts on behalf of our students, the world travel he has provided them over the years, and most especially the support that he has personally shown me and my family. I want to thank Eric for his continued effort on behalf of our students that I know will not stop. He's deserving of this honor, and all I can say is congratulations.
I would like to thank the members of the CAAPA organization for thinking of me for this honor. I believe this award is recognizing outstanding service in our music community. Well, most of you have already figured out that service is one of the main reasons why we are on this earth. We are here to help others on this pilgrimage called life. You must share what you have learned in this world with your students, mentees, younger acquaintances, and even family members, so that perhaps they may have an easier way than we may have had. CAAPA, Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, knows all too well about the service imperative that is implicit in education. We both are committed to making sure that our young musicians of color are well represented and have every advantage that we can offer. I am so pleased that CAAPA has thought enough of my work at Morgan State University to consider me for this outstanding service award. Again, thank you, and rest assured, I will continue promoting the arts as long as I live, one student musician at a time. Thank you.
Let's welcome back the CAAPA Ensemble.
So William Tolliver is one of our artists that we represent. He actually is one of our older artists that passed away in 2002. And there's a great saying in the art collecting world that if you don't own a Tolliver, you haven't completed your collection. He uses a lot of blues. He's from the South, so you'll see a lot of Southern feel in his pieces. This one here is actually a woodcut that he did, and it has his original signature on it. And it's a very hard to find piece, and it's called Contemplation. He's a mid-career artist. His name is Charlie Palmer, and he just did this piece for the cover of the Times magazine, which was a big accolade for him. So the Giclées, which is the printing process for this piece, just came out, and we just hung this piece here. And it was a tribute for the George Floyd marching and the Black Lives Matter pieces. And what Charlie likes to say is that he likes to change the temperature in a room. You know, he wants his pieces to be a conversation. So if you get up close on it, you can see people marching. In some of his pieces, you can see slave ships, things like that. So it brings up a conversation for people to talk about.
And now I'd like to introduce one of my dear friends, Reverend Kenneth D. Alston Jr., noted countertenor, educator, and theologian, who will now say a few words about Mr. Daly.
Thank you, and good evening to the CAAPA organization, distinguished honorees, guests, and friends. It is my distinct honor and pleasure this evening to be here for tonight's event, Melody of Art Virtual Caucus Reception. It is even more an honor to present my friend, my countertenor brother, and for the last 10 years or more has been my very best friend. I met Professor Patrick Daly as a bright and NAACP AXO awarded high school student making plans to attend our beloved alma mater, Morgan State University. In his preparation, he asked me questions, asked me about my experiences, and although I knew I was leaving Baltimore, I promised him that I would be there whenever he needed me. That promise is the very foundation and cornerstone of our relationship. As a student, Patrick excelled in areas of music and dance. He didn't just do the bare minimum in those ensembles. He became sought after for his artistic spirit to organize and strategically plan events with a mind to attract potential students to Morgan for its great diversity. As an upperclassman, I was in awe as he reached out from the halls of Morgan to gather knowledge from professional opera to concert artists as he was preparing for competitions and to be introduced to the world. He's traveled all over the country as a student, learning concepts that not only make him an exemplary performer, but an even more notable safe place for information. He didn't hoard the information that he learned to himself. He gladly shared it among those who would listen in those undergraduate halls. As a graduate student, he did not lose any steam. He furthered his musical training in Boston and was carving out a name for himself as an artist as well as an administrator. Patrick is an artivist, and once given a cause to believe in, he will move mountains to organize, plan, and execute events and masterclasses to further teach about those causes. Among his causes is the undying love for African Americans to know their history, for youth in our colleges and universities to know the spiritual and art songs by Black composers, while laying a foundation of support for Black artists in classical music. Among his tools to teach, strategize, and implement, he created Big Blue Opera initiatives as a professor at Tennessee State University as an academic pipeline for support of young Black artists. Likewise, he created the William Crim Singers, aka the Wakanda Crowd, named in honor of his mentor from his youth. Professor Patrick Daly is the epitome of excellence in action, and not just in theory. He lives his message so very well every day. It has been quoted by many that service is the rent that we pay for living. Professor Daly is living his life in the service of others. To end in a song that can be heard in both of our repertoires, he is a living example that if you can help somebody as they pass along, then his living will not be in vain.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to take this opportunity to read the certificate. Our honoree, Patrick Daly. Patrick, for your accomplishments as the first countertenor admitted to the Opera New Jersey's Emerging Artist Program, as a performer with Opera Ebony, Harlem Opera Theater, as a featured artist with Mid-Atlantic Symphony Orchestra, the Fayetteville Symphony Orchestra, the Soulful Symphony, and the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. As a presenter for the Center for Black Music Research's first annual Black Vocality Symposium. As a guest artist with Early Music City in the inaugural Nashville Early Music Festival. As a soloist at Nashville Symphony's Free Day of Music with Inversion Vocal Ensemble and Diaspora Chamber Orchestra. And for your continued advocacy and support on behalf of Black classical musicians and for CAAPA. Patrick Daly, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, applauds and recognizes you for helping to bring color to the classics.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To CAAPA, an organization that I am very grateful for, an organization that I hold very dear, that is so necessary. It is a great honor to be even considered for this. So thank you. To my very best friend, who is also my twin, thank you. I wasn't prepared for those words. You know, doing the work, I must say that doing this work and being a part of this work and being a part of this field is not done alone. In the words of Maya Angelou, I come as one and I stand as 10,000. And so I always want to acknowledge the ancestors who have gone on. I'm the great grandson of West Tennessee sharecroppers with my Pearl and Daddy Fred Slocum. And, you know, that heart and that feel and that passion and belief in something greater than even what's in front of you is what is my guiding force. I am privileged to be able to stand where greats have stood and do what I can to support those next generations coming. I thank Morgan State University, I thank Fisk University, I thank Tennessee State University, I thank Oakwood University, I thank Salama Urban Ministries and William Krim, I thank the Fisk Jubilee Singers, I thank 105 Voices of History National HBCU Choir, and so many others who have put me on this path. I'm just very overwhelmed and full. And I thank you for this moment of recognizing what has been thus far. And I hope I can continue in this same vein and continue to uplift our communities and continue to uplift our next generations. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce Anise Murillo, an inspirational gospel singer who will say a few words about Michelle Fallon.
The first day I came in contact with the extraordinary Michelle Fallon, I knew that she would be a blessing to my life. I'm sure many others can speak to this, as I have witnessed firsthand the impact that she has had on so many different communities of people. I could go on about her ability to excel in so many different areas, whether it be her performing as a singer, a pianist, her directing, her worshiping, or leading. But for me personally, it's always been her passion for her purpose that burns so deep that you have no choice but to embrace your own purpose when you are in her presence. I am honored to present the Outstanding Service Award to the phenomenal Michelle Fallon.
Thank you very much. And Michelle, we are so happy and honored to have you as one of our honorees for this 2020 season for CAAPA. Your certificate reads, for your accomplishments as an educator, vocalist, conductor, and inspiration to young musicians, for your stellar work as a music director and vocal coach for the Washington Performing Arts Children of the Gospel Choir, as the director of choral programs at Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Prince George's County, a director of children's church youth choirs in the area, and a clinician for vocal health and wellness. Having performed for the former President Barack Obama, the former Vice Presidents Biden and Gore, and as part of the former First Lady Michelle Obama's Let Girls Learn campaign, and for your continued advocacy and support on behalf of CAAPA and Black classical musicians. Michelle, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts applauds you and recognizes you in helping to bring color to the classics.
Wow. Thank you so much, Terry Allen, Pamela Simonson, all of the board members who serve for CAAPA. I am completely humbled and grateful to you all for this recognition. You know, they say that you ought to give flowers to people while they're still living. And I feel like you all just blessed me with 20 dozen roses and daffodils and lilies and lilacs and tulips and everything that is just so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is always just a tremendous honor to know that I am serving my purpose, that the impact and the influence is being recognized. The youth are my passion. God has called me to this, and all I can do is continue to do the work that He has anointed me to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am truly grateful and honored.
Let's welcome back the CAAPA Ensemble.
We have the late Anthony Armstrong. We still have some of his work. We actually lost this artist in January. We lost him, and it was really something when we lost him, how his work went up in value, and it's still going up in value, and people are in demand for it. And this is one of his more popular pieces. He does Cubism work, so they compare his work a lot to Picasso. And this is a limited edition Jaclay as well. And they're getting very rare to find. So our newest piece to the gallery is called the Ballot Box, and this is the piece here. It's a Jaclay on paper, and this is it custom framed, so it's all preserved. And Charlie Palmer is one of our mid-career artists. He's doing very well, and this is his pieces are very hard to find. So this piece he did just for the election. He said he wanted to bring out a piece to help people understand how important it is to vote this November. And as you can see, when he was telling me about the piece, there is actually, I don't know if you can see in the background here, but there's slave ships, there's people marching, and he wanted to express how these people back in 1965, they would get dressed up to go vote, and that's how important it was, and that he wanted to express that to let us know how important it is for us to go vote. So this is here available at the gallery. There's 200 in the edition, and it's selling pretty fast. Yeah, it's doing really well for us. This work is by Al Birds. We have quite a few originals in here by him. And what's amazing about him, and no one really knows, but once you get up on it, pen and ink is what he does his work with. And he does colored pencil. And all of these originals are also on wood. There's no reproductions to them, so it would be a one-of-a-kind piece that you would own.
And now I would like to introduce Diane Wilburn Parks, who will say a few words about our honoree, Hiram LaRue.
It is my absolute pleasure and honor to introduce my friend, Dr. Hiram LaRue, an award-winning poet of distinction, an innovator, visionary, and advocate. Hiram is the founder of the Prince George's County Poetry Poster Project, which toured throughout the DMV and at the House of Delegates. He is also the founder of Poetry Ex Hunger and has brought worldwide attention to the anti-hunger cause. He has extended the reach of Poetry Ex Hunger by building and bridging key relationships with other anti-hunger organizations throughout the world to X out hunger. Dr. LaRue has opened doors and opportunities for so many poets, artists, advocates, and creatives, nationally and internationally. He is a catalyst of change, and his work exemplifies inclusion and diversity. He received a writer's residency from the Interloop to visit Woodlawn, a historic plantation estate in Fairfax, Virginia, and invited 3 African American poets to write works of interpretation. That invitation transformed into groundbreaking poetic works of interpretation and a poetry group now known as the Voices of Woodlawn, which includes 4 poets and a harmonicist. The Voices of Woodlawn have performed at Creative Suitland, Maryland, and online. Dr. LaRue has always been a driving force in the arts and has played a key role in organizing the Davies Concert Series and helping to showcase CAAPA and its talented performers. This is only a small footprint to this tall poet's list of accomplishments.
Hiram, this award is for you, for your accomplishments as a poet and arts advocate, as a partner with the United Nations, the Maryland State Arts Council, as founder of the Poetry Ex Hunger Initiative, as advocate for diversity, as a founder of the Poetry Poster Project, for writer in residence at the Woodlawn Plantation, and for your continued and undying support and advocacy on behalf of CAAPA and Black classical musicians, as founder and facilitator of the Davies Concert Series. Hiram LaRue, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, applauds and recognizes you for helping to bring color to the classics.
Well, my goodness, my thanks to Terry and Dale Allen and Pamela Simonson and all the rest of the CAAPA team. And my special gratitudes to my dear friend, poet and artist, Diane Wilburn Parks, for her lovely introduction. My friends, our times, these roiling, turbulent times, are calling out to CAAPA for its programs of distinction, for its showcase of talents, and for its energy of purpose. Yeah, these times are calling on CAAPA to bring color to the classics. I know of no other organization that brightens with such vibrant colors the all too often monochromatic world of classical music. If I've been a supporter of CAAPA in recent years, it's because CAAPA's work is worthy of wide recognition in a man alive now more than ever sort of way. I'm very grateful for this award. As an honoree, I plan to continue to amplify CAAPA's efforts. So join me in giving a big yes indeed to CAAPA for bringing color to the classics. Thanks very much.
To properly introduce Maggie, I must begin with her spirit of excellence in service, consistently exuded in her personality, profession, and her sense of purpose. She is a servant for the Lord, giving her time, talent, and treasures to help others, living her faith in God by using her intellectual, organizational, and interpersonal gifts to bless others. As an entrepreneur for over 15 years, as president of the Wright Group, LLC, and a community leader, Maggie has successfully incorporated her values into a professional calling and extensive volunteer service, as well as philanthropic service, resulting in far-reaching and lasting benefits to individuals and organizations serving children, families, and communities both locally and nationally. Maggie Holmes is valued for her integrity, loving kindness, and goodness toward others. Described by those of us who respect and love her as M, magnificent, magnetic, A, amazing, G, godly, and G again, generous, I, inspiring, and E, engaging. I introduce and present my sister friend, Maggie. She also enthusiastically brings color to the classic.
For your accomplishments as president and CEO of the Wright Group, for leadership with nonprofits of Prince George's County, as the launcher for the first nonprofit incubator in Prince George's County, as having worked with over 100 nonprofits and in the region, by providing consultation on capacity building and funding development and the how-tos on removing barriers and launching organizations' growth, as a facilitator for the Southern Maryland Chamber of Commerce and Strategic Alliances Partnerships, and offering guidance, support, and continued advocacy on behalf of Black classical musicians. Maggie Holmes, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, also known as CAAPA, applauds and recognizes you in helping to bring color to the classics.
Good evening. I want to thank CAAPA's staff and its board for this Outstanding Service Award. Serving and helping others have always brought me satisfaction. And CAAPA is one of many community organizations I have chosen to support and promote for the betterment of our community. I've learned a long time ago that serving is not about yourself, but it is about others and for the betterment of others and your community. It is very important and imperative that each of us commit to helping and supporting our community organizations that exemplify who we are as people and our culture. Please remember, no one will do for us what we need to do for ourselves and our communities. Serving is what we're meant to do. We're not here for ourselves, but for others. Stop thinking about yourselves and start serving, and watch how the universe will open up doors and unimaginable opportunities. If I can leave you with this thought this evening, teach children to serve and give and watch their world change. Again, thank you for this award. Make 2020 a year of positivity and a season of forgiveness.
Let's welcome back the CAAPA Ensemble.
course, I have to mention that we're here at the Overdue Recognition Art Gallery here in Bowie Town Center with the lovely Jackie Thompson. Thank you so much.
You know, it's definitely what you want to collect. And that's always what we tell people first, is to buy what they love. So if you're into more sculptures, then that's where you should start. But if you're into buying paintings, then that's where you should start. But you should always buy what you love. Well, what usually happens is people start with one, and as their collection grows, they start to branch out to other types of art as well.
And now I'd like to introduce Michelle Briere, a long-serving Opera Creole board member, who will say a few words about Opera Creole and its founders.
The award-winning Opera Creole is dedicated to researching and performing lost or rarely performed works by composers of African descent. Their works focused on 19th century free composers of color, and they're dedicated to preserving and promoting Creole language and culture. An article by The New Yorker credited Opera Creole for correcting the overwhelming whiteness of opera. It was founded in 2010 by a dynamic duo mother-daughter team, Giovanna Joseph, founder and artistic director, and her daughter, Aria Mason, co-founder and production director. And this is the 10th year anniversary of Opera Creole, and what a 10 years it has been. They have received both national and international recognition, but this recognition and award by far is one of the greatest honors, to be honored by your own. So in this 10-year period, they've done 5 groundbreaking productions here in New Orleans. Thelma, which came in 2012 by Samuel Coolidge Taylor. Minette Fontaine by William Grant Still was done in 2015. La Flamenca was done in 2017. Scott Joplin's Tremonitian was done in 2017. And Le Lion de la Reconstruction, The Lions of Reconstruction, was done for the New Orleans Tricentennial in 2018. And they were invited to come to Washington to perform excerpts from that opera as well. And another special thing that's been done by Opera Creole was in 2016, they did a special production of opera's role in the birthplace of jazz at the Ellis Marcellus Center. So that was a memorable moment. So a lot of wonderful things have happened in the last 10 years. And we must give a little credit to the founding pianist, Dr. Wilfred Delphin, and there's some other very talented artists that have been a part of Opera Creole. Well-known names like Chauncey Parker, Terrence Brown, Richard Hobson, Ivan Griffin, Tyrone Chambers, Kenya Lawrence, Dara Romberg. And so this is a very special time for Opera Creole, and it's truly an honor to receive such an award.
That was wonderful. What a wonderful tribute to a wonderful organization. And you know, we have so much in common because both CAAPA and Opera Creole were founded and are operated by a mother-daughter team. Let's give all of us a hand. And now for the award. Opera Creole, Giovanna Joseph and Aria Mason, for your accomplishment as the premier Black-owned and operated opera company, and as an opera company in America's first city, New Orleans, as presenters of the operas La Flamenca, Tremonitian, and the Lions of Reconstruction, as recipients of many awards for forging ahead on behalf of Black classical musicians, and for your continued support and dedication on behalf of Black classical musicians, Opera Creole, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts applauds and recognizes you, Giovanna Joseph, and Aria Mason, for your outstanding work and for helping to bring color to the classics.
Thank you, ladies. You know, we're so honored to be partners with CAAPA, but not just partners, friends and fellow mom and daughter team. You know, you all, your support of us and your encouragement and sponsorship of us, especially to come to DC, has meant. And we're extremely honored that you're recognizing us in this way. It means so much to be honored, but it really means so much to be honored by your own, by people who know your struggle, who know the triumphs that you've been through. They know the highest of the heights and the lowest of the lows. So we are so thankful for you. We are so thankful that we have had 10 years doing this. It's almost hard to believe that we've been doing this for 10 years, and that through all of the ups and downs of running an opera company, and it's not for suckers, that we have gotten to not only get to know wonderful artists and gotten to see them grow into their fullness and the richness as not only artists, but Black artists, that we've given musicians and other people on production staff the opportunity to work on works that speak more to their experience possibly than some other works in the classical canon, but also that we've given voices back to the women and men who wrote this music and said to them, we see your excellence. We hear you all the way down the ages. You're our ancestors, but we're your wildest dreams. So we want to take it and take it to the next level. And I'm incredibly honored to be able to do this with my own mom, even on the days when we are too much alike. But this is a wonderful honor to share with her. And I'm so blessed to have her not only as my mom, but as my partner in this work. And Michelle, you know how much you mean to us. And thank you so much for that introduction. And bien, Maisie, I'm very blessed. And even though I'm doing this from my hospital bed, I wouldn't do it for anybody else. I'm in it to win it, from womb to the tomb. So thank you again.
I just want to say, you know, the moment that we met you two, we just felt a particular kind of kinship, a particular kind of connection that I just thought was wonderful. It was great enough that you all were sponsoring us to DC, but the experience of getting to know you and spending time with you and doing this production was really great. So we're honored. You know, it's great that the New Yorker and Southern Living and National Public Radio and French television and all of those people have acknowledged our work, but to be honored by your own always has the greatest and most heartfelt impact. So thank you all very much. Michelle, we are so glad that you have been our champion. She is there. She, you know, responds to what we need. She comes to every performance. She brings people with her. She and Aunt Thelma, her aunt is, we call her Aunt Thelma. They've been just great champions for us, and we're so appreciative of that. I feel so honored to do this work because the strangest thing in 2012, when we found out about Samuel Coleridge Taylor's opera that had been lost 100 years, Thelma, just had been found and had just been published when I was inquiring about it. And to be able to put it on its legs for the first time and hear this wonderful music, I just knew that I was headed on the right path. And to be able to honor our free composers of color of New Orleans, Basile Barré, Edmond Dede, Lucien Lambert, Charles Lucien Lambert, his father, Samuel Snayer. I mean, it's just been great. So we hear the call of the ancestors, and we're trying to do our very best to honor them and to make a way for all the people to keep the color in the classics.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Who's our founding pianist, but Tyrone Chambers, who's our founding and principal tenor, has been with us. He moved to Germany and still comes back from Germany doing things with us. And our star soprano, Kenya Lawrence Jackson, we want to really acknowledge them because they really make it all real. You know, if you don't have great performers and dedicated artists, you know, dedicated to the craft, it doesn't work. So
I would like to add one thing also. You know, in the trying times that we're living in, They are also a light on the things that we need to make better about ourselves. You know, they say that there are some years that ask questions and some years that answer them. This is the year that's asking us, who are we? And what do we want to be as a society? And how do we want to go forward as human beings, but also as a collective? And I think that dismantling white supremacy is going to be one of the keys that allows us to go forward in our full humanity.
Yes.
We're committed to doing our part with that through opera, through the restorative justice of bringing these suppressed works back to light, of giving people work, of making gorgeous productions that say Black people don't have to just look one way or express themselves in one way. We're not, and we have been excellent, and we will continue to be excellent.
Absolutely.
Other companies that are not led by people of color take that realization in that they need to do the same.
Yeah.
And that it's time for us to be more than what we have been as classical musicians and as a classical music community. And that the best is yet to come if we choose to embrace that.
Right. Thank you so much.
We won't hold you guys any longer. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And we are
We
so
love you.
honored.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
God bless you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the Society Incorporated for being here this evening. I would like to thank you all for being such supportive and spectacular partners with CAAPA. We both have a tremendous love for our youth and have worked together to embolden them and to give them a platform to be great. I look forward to continuing our work, and I thank you for being such an inspiration to so many. I thank in particular Dr. Deborah Mahone, who is co-lead of CAAPA Arts Committee for the Society Incorporated. Also Sharon Collins, the Vice President and Chair of Arts Programs. Dr. Diane Whitfield Locke, co-lead of CAAPA Arts Committee. Marion Flamer and Lydia Dorman, mentoring and showcase program leads. April Randall, Driscoll Scholarship Review Lead. And Sheila Hughes and Cleopatra White, the technology support. Thank you so much, and we are so honored to present you with this award this evening.
And now, the award. To the Society, Outstanding Organization of the Year, for your dedicated service to the community, to youth and the arts, to enhance, expose, and promote our young people, to better and to further the arts, and for your continued support on behalf of Black classical musicians. The Society, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, applauds and recognizes your organization as the very first Outstanding Organization of the Year in helping to bring color to the classics.
Oh. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Society Incorporated Supporting the Arts, the Harbor City, Maryland chapter, I want to express our gratitude and our appreciation for this award and acknowledgements. As part of our mission, we strive to function as a resource for young people in the arts. And we also strive to promote education, civic and cultural experiences within the community. And our partnership with the Coalition of African Americans in the Performing Arts has definitely provided us with that opportunity. As a service organization, we are always happy to support young people. And we were thrilled to conduct a mentoring program back in May, designed to guide graduating high school seniors who are pursuing a career in the arts in the development of career appropriate, I should say, resumes and essays. And we look forward to working with CAAPA to expand this service in the future years, this year, hopefully. Likewise, it was indeed a pleasure to award the very first inaugural David Driscoll Achievement Scholarship to a high school senior participating in CAAPA's Talent Showcase. And that was indeed a pleasure because it also afforded us an opportunity to support the aspirations of young people working in the artistic field. And I must say before closing, and you have already acknowledged the CAAPA team, arts team, but all of our service-related activities would not have been possible without the support of all of the members of the Harbor City, Maryland chapter. A special recognition certainly to those members who work so closely with the programming for our mentoring webinar as well as our showcase. And I can't say enough about the women who really came together to make this happen. And we hope that we will continue to be deserving of this award. We plan to endeavor to work very hard to promote the mission of the Society Incorporated supporting the arts. Again, thank you. We are eternally grateful.
Thank you very, very much for being here this evening. To our wonderful and esteemed Board of Directors, Pamela Simonson for co-chairing, co-founding this organization, and to all of you, thank you for being here and being a part of our season kickoff, Melody of Art. And what are we doing? Bringing color to the classics.
Congratulations to all of our awardees. And you will now hear a final selection from our CAAPA ensemble, whom I hope you've enjoyed this evening, under the direction of Joshua Jenkins.